everyone, welcome to JG Cycling Life episode number 2. Today I'm going to take you through my Zwift setup, which I do all my indoor training on. It is currently still February, just the end of February right now, so I'm getting towards the end of using this winter setup, thankfully. I'm super excited to get back outside. With that being said, having Zwift and a really awesome winter setup can make your life a lot better and make the training and the indoor miles go by so much easier and help you be super fit for once the warmer weather comes around. I'm also going to show you just a little bit around my apartment here in Sandy, Utah, just to kind of show you how I'm living right now. And yeah, that's what I got for you today, so let's go. Alright, so I'm just going to start off with my living area, which is this small little spot right here. I am fortunate enough to have an awesome girlfriend who has made this place look much homier than I ever could have. We brought our couch over from our last apartment, and then we got these shelves and that little photo at IKEA. And then we brought the TV stand as well as some photos out. I tell you, after getting all this stuff kind of set up, it really makes it feel more homey here. The first little bit when we didn't have anything on the walls and you're brand new to a new area, just kind of feels a little alien to you. So once you get everything set up, walls kind of covered, it really feels more like home and helps you kind of relax. And we've got a little wall right here, and we've mapped out like some of the places that we've gone together, and then kind of put some photos up surrounding that of everything. So that's something, just a cool little project that we've been working on. Moving on from the living room, just got a little kitchen, a little bar, nothing too crazy or special. I've got all my kind of coffee and then recovery essentials over here. Some of you guys are probably cringing at the Mitt Cafe, but when you're cycling on a budget, it helps a little bit. Got our snowboard sitting over there. Let's go in the bedroom here and see if we can find Roxy. This is our puppy. We've had her for a year and a half now, so she is full grown, right around 30 pounds. Loves the belly rub, so, and I'm kind of a sucker for giving her those. Oh yeah. All right. So let's get on to the trainer setup. So taking you through the room a bit, I got a bunch of stuff set up on the walls, especially this, what's right in front of me. I like to keep some good motivational pieces, especially when I'm doing those long intervals. So I got, of course, my lovely girlfriend, picture from her in track. The two of us down at a duathlon that we won outside of Lake Crystal. It was a pretty fun event. And of course, Prefontaine. Used to watch his movie before all my races when I was running in high school, and then did a little bit in college as well. Great quote up there: to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Mr. Prefontaine. Moving on, we got my bike right down here. It's a Scott foil, so it's actually the team's bike. This one actually will be up for sale in a little bit. We got to move to disc brake bikes this year, and they gave us the choice between the Scott Addict and the foil, and being a climber and living in the mountains, I went with the Addict. So I believe it just got in and it should be coming pretty soon. This is my girlfriend's bike over here. She's got a Trek Silk from a few years back. And then getting into detail on my setup. So starting with the trainer, this is going to be the Cyclops Hammer. So it's the first generation. They just came out with the H2 recently, but I've had this right since they came out. We got a super good deal through the store with them as I was an employee at Shields, and it has really changed my indoor experience. There's a couple things I really like about it. The first is that it's just a lot smoother than anything I've ever had. I had the Fluid before. So it's got a 20-pound flywheel in there, makes for really good smooth riding, as well as a few different functions that it does. The first one I really like is using it with Zwift. So going up and down hills, it's going to change that resistance automatically for you. So you're going to have to shift your gears. Sometimes you got to get out of the saddle if it's a really steep little spot. And it just really makes it feel like an actual bike ride. So secondly, for some of my workouts that I do, specifically like the sweet spot training one, There's this thing called erg mode where you can just punch in the power for each interval you want it to do, and then it will automatically find that power no matter what your cadence is. This is especially nice for some of those like sweet spot training ones where I know I can do the whole workout pretty easily, but just going through it at my preferred cadence, so there's no fighting between gears. If one's too high, one's too low, you can pedal whatever you want, and it's going to keep you right at that power, which is really, really awesome. Now for some of my other ones, or if you're doing a workout that you're not sure if you're going to be able to complete, you might need to go up or down a little bit. There's two things you can do. If you're in that erg mode, you can kind of give it like, say you want to do 2% more, you can kind of up that, or 2% less, but usually I leave that in just a flat resistance so that I am shifting. You can micro adjust the resistance on it to get close to that right gear you want. But then if you are feeling good, you can do a little more. If you're feeling not so good, you can do a little less. So for some of my harder workouts, that's kind of the way I do it. Then sometimes too, for my longer hill ones, I like going up to a big mountain on the Zwift and then doing that and trying to have to hold that power consistent over all the rollers and stuff. So it really gives you more of like an outside kind of realistic feel versus just being able to hold that consistent power. So doing it all those different ways really makes for a very diverse kind of training setup in what you can do and accomplish and all that time you spend in here. So moving on from that, I do have a Quark power meter on my bike, so I connect that to my Garmin and I will run that, as well as the Hammer does have a power meter built into it. So I have two things I can kind of test how that power goes. They do fluctuate just a little bit, but usually they're both very, very close in accuracy. So then I want to talk to you a little bit about how I have this connected to my computer. So I use the Zwift Mobile Link app, so it's right on my phone here. The power meter and the smart trainer go Bluetooth to my phone, and then it goes wireless over to my computer. Now I do have a Garmin heart rate monitor, which is not Bluetooth, so I've got this little dongle plugged into the USB port, and that'll pick up my heart rate monitor. Now the reason I do Bluetooth over that Ant Plus for everything, because you can do it, is because it just seems to work a lot more seamlessly. I don't have the power dropouts that I used to have when I was trying to send everything through that. I was actually in the process of going to get a USB extender to put that right down by my trainer to see if I could solve some of those power dropouts. And then my buddy told me to just use the Bluetooth mobile app, which I didn't know about, and did that, and it's worked pretty seamlessly ever since. So a key essential for anyone's indoor training setup is going to be to have some fans, and I've got this one positioned right here next to the window, so I'll open that up and let some that nice cool air come in. And then one little pro tip I found out is to actually have a foot fan. So I bought this for Kendra's for when we ride together, but I've always had this problem with my feet getting soaking wet, and I just never put it together until recently. I'm like, why don't I just put a fan there? And I did that, and now I end up with a lot less sweat on the ground after. So if you don't have one and you got sweaty feet after a ride, go get yourself a foot fan, because it's going to make your life a little bit better. I do have a Cyclops trainer mat. This is pretty essential, especially if you have carpet in your room, because you are going to be sweating a lot with indoor riding. It just happens. There's no way to avoid it. After your harder rides, you're going to end up with a big puddle of sweat at the bottom, and you don't want that soaking into your carpet. So we put that down, and then I also put towels down just to help soak up the sweat so I don't have a big puddle there. It just goes into the towel. I've got one over the handlebars to kind of protect the head tube and all the bearings in there, as well as the shifters. So there you have it. That is my indoor setup. Today, what I've got in store is a 3x20 workout. So another thing I like about Zwift is creating your custom workouts. I've got a couple up there that I've done. This one's pretty simple, straightforward. Just I do a 45-minute warm-up, and then I try and do 3 20-minute efforts, to where the last one I'm pretty empty, but they're all mostly even, or a little bit more on the last one, meaning that I didn't go too hard on the first couple. So I'm gonna get changed and get started on that. A few things I got along for today. 2 bottles of Hammer Nutrition. Kendra and I made a really good breakfast. So I got waffles, some pure maple syrup in these. These are gluten-free Kodiak cake waffles. Then I do have one little thing of fruit snacks, so. So I just got done with my first interval. I hit my power, but my heart rate was pretty high. Usually in the first of these, the first 10 minutes aren't so bad. And then about 6 to go, you just start to get these thoughts. They're like, man, I don't think I can do this today. And it's often the first one that's the hardest. And sometimes you get your mind into it's like, all right, I'm either just doing this one or just going to do 2 by 20, and you finish the interval with a struggle, and then you get a little bit of recovery, your heart rate goes down, and you're like, maybe I could do one more, and then by the time you're fully kind of recovered after, you're like, maybe I still got this, which is about how I feel right now, watching the heart rate go hit 180 on the first one. I haven't really seen that as much, so I'm a little worried I might not finish today. I'm gonna have to back this one down. I did 363 for that first one, and I came for like 157 here, and see how it goes. If I can maintain that, and then just give her on the last one. I was thinking before, it turned out to be a little true. I just see there, I went out too hard. Just couldn't hit the power I wanted to today. I hit it the first one, heart rate way up there. And then that second one, I was already at 180 with 8 minutes to go. And just didn't have it today. I rarely like to do this where I give up. But I can just tell it's not in there today. So I'm gonna call it at 2 by 20. I'm a little disappointed, but it is what it is. So, I think I finished that last one at like 154. It's still decent, but just not today. Rest up, nail it again a different time. Really disappointed. That's just, it's how life goes sometimes. You don't always get what you're looking for, but the important thing is we learn, we regroup, and we try again.